In the National Football League, some games are played once and forgotten. Others leave a mark shaping franchises, defining eras, and revealing the true nature of competition. The matchup between the Houston Texans and the New England Patriots isn't a traditional rivalry built on geography or hatred. It's something deeper. It's a story of power versus pursuit, of legacy versus ambition, of a dynasty standing tall while a young franchise fought to find its place. This is the complete story of Texans versus Patriots. The New England Patriots were founded in 1960, a team that spent decades searching for consistency. For years, they were competitive, but rarely dominant. Everything changed in the year 2000, when head coach Bill Belichick arrived and a little-known quarterback named Tom Brady was drafted in the 6th round. What followed was one of the greatest dynasties in sports history. 6 Super Bowl championships, countless playoff appearances, and a culture built on discipline, preparation, and relentless execution. The Patriots were no longer just a team, they became the standard by which greatness was measured. Meanwhile, the Houston Texans entered the NFL in 2002 as the league's newest expansion franchise. Houston was rebuilding its football identity after losing the Oilers, and expectations were modest. Expansion teams rarely succeed early, and the Texans were no exception. They endured difficult seasons, roster growing pains, and years of development. But slowly, Houston began to build something meaningful, a team rooted in toughness, defense, and resilience. The Texans weren't chasing championships yet, they were chasing respect. When these two teams met for the first time, the difference was clear. New England played with confidence and experience. Houston played with effort and hope. Early matchups were largely one-sided, as the Patriot system overwhelmed the young Texans roster. But for Houston, every loss became a lesson. They were studying what dominance looked like, up close and personal. As the Texans improved, the meetings grew more significant, especially when January arrived. The postseason is where legacies are defined, and this is where the Patriots consistently proved why they were feared. In the 2012 AFC divisional round, Houston arrived in Foxborough, believing they had a chance. Their defense was strong, their run game effective, and their confidence was growing. But Tom Brady delivered one of the most dominant playoff performances of his career, throwing 5 touchdown passes. The Patriots controlled the game from start to finish, winning 41-28, and reminding the league that experience matters most when the pressure is highest. 5 years later, history repeated itself. In the 2017 AFC divisional round, the Texans once again ran into the Patriots' playoff machine. Houston's defense battled with intensity, but New England's precision and composure proved decisive. The result was familiar: another Patriots victory, another Texans season ending at the hands of the same opponent. It wasn't just about talent. It was about execution in critical moments, and the Patriots had mastered those moments. Throughout these games, legendary players shaped the narrative. For New England, Tom Brady's calm leadership defined the matchup. Bill Belichick's ability to neutralize Houston's strengths showcased his football genius. Rob Gronkowski created mismatches that defenses couldn't solve, while Julian Edelman thrived in the biggest moments. On the other side, Houston found its identity through stars like J.J. Watt, whose relentless effort symbolized the city's spirit. DeAndre Hopkins emerged as one of the league's most unstoppable receivers. Arian Foster's smooth running style gave Houston balance, and later, Deshaun Watson brought hope for a new era. Some regular season games hinted that the gap was closing. In 2016, Houston pushed New England to the brink in a tightly contested battle, decided by a late interception. The Patriots won, but the Texans proved they belonged on the same field. Other games, like New England's dominant 2018 performance, showed that the dynasty still had full control. Each meeting added another chapter, sometimes hopeful, sometimes humbling. Then came the turning point. Tom Brady left New England, ending an era that defined 2 decades of football. The Patriots entered a rebuilding phase, searching for a new identity without their legendary quarterback. At the same time, Houston faced its own challenges: coaching changes, roster instability, and uncertainty about the future. Suddenly, this matchup was no longer dynasty versus rising contender. It became rebuild versus rebuild, youth versus strategy, and potential versus tradition. Yet even as both teams changed, the weight of history remained. Every Texans versus Patriots game still carried echoes of past playoff battles, legendary performances, and defining moments. It represented two very different journeys through the NFL, one built through sustained excellence, the other through persistence and reinvention. In the end, this matchup is not just about wins and losses. It's about how teams grow, how eras end, and how new chapters begin. The Patriots showed the league what dominance looks like. The Texans showed what resilience means. And every time they meet, the story continues. Dynasties rise, teams rebuild, but history never disappears. Texans versus Patriots is more than football. It's a reminder that every giant was once challenged and every challenger believes their moment will come. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to like and subscribe for more stories from the gridiron.